The idea of praising the AFL's decision on anything seems very strange right now, between things like trade radio being on before the grand finals being played, the way that Andrew Dillon is suggesting that the Brownlow medal second and third place getters should be getting a medal too. Jesus. The fact that the AFL have actually done something that I think is incredibly right deserves a lot of credit. And as someone that does draft content and will continue to do so moving forward, I think these new draft rules are awesome. Now, as someone that does not like the father-son rule at all, I think it's nonsense. It doesn't make any sense. No other league in the world does it. And it has made I believe, a mockery of the equalization the AFL wants to bring in. I am happy to concede that this is a happy medium. So from 26 onwards, so it will not affect the players in this draft, but from 26 onwards, clubs can still match a bid for father-son prospects and can still call dibs. So you can still get them, that's fine. But the avoidance of what has happened in recent times has gone away. So instead of Brisbane, for example, paying 3 picks in the 40s and 1 in the 50s for Levi Ashcroft, which, by the way, is not an attack on Brisbane, you played the rules perfectly. There is no qualm with you whatsoever. No conflict, nothing. The AFL let you do it. You did it. No problem there in the slightest. But you are only allowed to use 2 picks to match a bid. So every pick has got an amount of points that are worth it. Think of it as like money, by the way. Pick 1 would be worth $3,000, for example. You have to only use 2 picks to get to the discounted number, which is 10%. So pick 1 goes from 3,000 to 2,700. You can only use 2 picks to get 2,700 or more points in order to get your player. Now, you can do that with whatever picks that you want, but they can't be futures. They can't be anything like that. It's in the draft in the moment. The price stays the same. The means to find the money, if you will, gets harder. Now, I can 100% understand if you are a fan of Carlton, Essendon, Port Adelaide especially. West Coast, even though you're going to get Charlie Banfield relatively cheap, I think around that pick 25 to 40 mark. But Harper Banfield, who's going to come through the draft next year, who had 20 and 6 inside 50s in the Colts grand final, which is pretty impressive. And Charlie himself won the best on grand medal for the Colts grand final, had 29, 2 goals, 9 inside 50s, and like 8 clearances or something ridiculous like that. But it's going to be affected a little bit, and I can understand, Carlton fans going, well, we watched Collingwood and the Bulldogs and Brisbane get all these awesome players, and now we've got to pay, top shelf money for Kobe Buick. Essendon fans will in a couple of years' time. Carlton with Cody Walker, as I said before, with Harper Banfield and others that are coming through. I think Port Adelaide have got a Sellerpeck and one more that's coming through that off the top of my head I can't remember the name of. I apologise to that player. I think this works. Now, again, I can understand the complaint from these clubs. I really do. But if we accept that a bad decision has been made, the worst thing that you can do is to keep making that bad decision. The Paul Curtis suspension is the greatest example. Paul Curtis getting 3 weeks for that tackle was a disgrace. Mabior Chol did something quite similar and got off. Now, as a Hawthorn fan, I feel very happy, not only that Mabior gets to play for the first 3 weeks of next year, but also that tackle doesn't get suspended. North Melbourne fans have the right to turn around and go, hey, where was that? You have every right to do that. I don't want to stop you from doing that. Absolutely. My missus thinks that North are cursed within the AFL, and considering the way that like Tristan Sherry's Brownlow stuff went, the Paul Curtis tackle, I feel like 1% of me starting to believe her a little bit. But the point that I'm trying to make here is that a wrong decision was made, which is not great. And look, should the wrong decisions happen? No, they shouldn't. They did. You have to find a level of acceptance with that. The best thing that you can do moving forward is when you're presented with something similar, to make the right decision and then continually make the right decisions. It's how we improve. They did it beautifully with the tackle. I feel like they're doing it as best they can with the draft. So that is a huge positive. Now, in terms of this draft, that's not a thing. So Carlton with Harry Dean, they want to trade back from their first round pick, what will be the Tom de Koning compensation pick. They will want to trade that out to stock up on points. I can think of North Melbourne and Essendon just off the top of my head. We've got picks in the 20s that will appeal to the Blues in order to match some picks there, which will go beautifully in a draft as not great as this one is going to be, and I know Carlton are going to need more than just Harry Dean in their lineup, but if it's a really big positional need for them, and they could just try to do some other things, I suppose, but all of that makes perfect sense. Louis Callaway for the Tigers is going to be another one as well. I've probably forgotten one or two just off the top of my head. I am recording this in a hurry, by the way, but the advantage there is it's not totally screwing clubs now. I think the fact that this decision has come probably too late, but again, we are where we are. But the fact that this is going to kick in so teams can prepare for the Tassie drafts as well is an underrated part of this conversation. And overall, for someone that just wants the rule to go, this seems like a happy medium. I think for those that like the rule, the advantage for you guys is that you've gone, we like the rule, but I feel like it takes quite a bit of that but out. So we sit here right now and we go, holy Moses, a really good decision was made, or hopefully a good decision was made. And then all we need to do is just a little dear Andrew Dillon. No, the place getters of the Brownlow medal should not be getting their own medals. Gold, silver, and bronze is possibly the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. Get rid of opening round. Just play, I don't know, 9 games in opening round. Make 3 of them in WA, 3 of them in Queensland, and 3 of them in New South Wales, if you want to do that. Welcome to the world of happy medium. Don't do wild card round because no, Sydney and I don't even know who was, the Bulldogs in Sydney clearly proved that they didn't belong in finals. The Swans didn't have a forward line. The Bulldogs couldn't defend. Yeah, they could score, but they proved that they couldn't do it. All the top 8 teams were pretty good at scoring, pretty good at defending, and won enough games. That's enough. Okay, we've made one good decision. Let's continually make more and not need to produce content and talking points. The more you make good decisions, the better off we'll be. And I know everyone's thinking, now let's make some decisions around umpires. You guys already know where I stand on that. Let's go back to 3 and just get off social media if you don't want to hear a lot of people complain. Because most of the time, things are fine. I think we over-exaggerate mistakes a lot, a hell of a lot, across the board, the Brownlow being one of them. It's just one group's opinion, guys. However much you want to put on it is up to you. But overall, let's just get back to good, solid, not rushed decisions that are for the betterment of the competition. I think this is one of those, and they are my thoughts. Let me know what you think, guys. Comment below. Let me know. Like the video if you like the video. Subscribe, join the Daz Talks Footy family. And if you're heading to the grand final parade, so is Daz. So, hey, if you see me out in the wild, 1 in a 90-odd thousand chance, or 1 in like 200,000 chance, and you want to say g'day, that would be pretty cool. I'm not going to lie to you. So maybe I'll see you there. Maybe I won't. We'll see how we go. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video. Goodbye.